Hello, hello, everybody. It's Elaine here, the Animal Reiki Lady, and you have found SoulPet. SoulPet is the channel that's dedicated to those of us who are on a healing journey after the loss of our beautiful animal companions. Our soul pets are our lifelong friends, our friends across lifetimes, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So SoulPet is a channel that is a community. We are people who understand each other. We get what it feels like to have experienced the loss of an animal companion that's a member of our family, that's part of our soul, and what it feels like when our heart shatters into a million pieces, and how do we put our hearts back together again in a way that makes them even fuller, more beautiful, and more powerful and more loving than we ever were before. So usually I go live on Monday nights. Every single Monday night, there's a live stream where the community comes together and we talk about all kinds of things and talk about ways to receive signs and messages and also ways to help us mend all the broken pieces of our heart. So if you can join me on Monday nights, that would be great. But this past Monday night, we had some technical difficulties. There was a lot of wind here. I don't even know if that impacts anything anymore, but halfway through the live stream, we lost video. So I decided for my beautiful community to kind of give you a wrap up of what we talked about on Monday. And I also had some new inspiration as I was thinking about this. So we're going to talk tonight about reincarnation and past lives. And we're going to go down the rabbit hole a little bit. So we not only talk about ways that we can help heal our heart and make reconnection with our animal companions on the other side, but we also do a little exploration. So questions have come up about reincarnation and past lives, and I really would love to share my thoughts with you about that. First, let me introduce you to my own animal companions who are at the Rainbow Bridge. Behind me is Jack. Jack is a yellow lab, and he crossed in December of 2021. In fact, I have his picture here because he was my hubby's best friend. So that's our beautiful Jack, handsome boy. Jack crossed in 2021. He was my husband's best friend. And now my husband and Jack are on the other side. Love and life over on the other side. And then we have Winston right here. And this one over here is Lucy. And I introduced them to you because I want to share with you my personal experiences with their life after the physical. So what is life for them? And have they reincarnated? Will they reincarnate? And will they be part of my life again, the way that you would hope your animal companion can be part of yours? So we're going to talk about all those things. Plus, the new thing, I'm going to offer a little exercise today. So if you stick around, we're going to do a little, we're going to play with our imagination a little bit in what I call co-creating their reincarnation. So how can we together, recognizing that they are sentient beings with souls and preferences on the other side, how can we reconnect with them while we are still here in the physical? So the big question that comes up is is reincarnation real? Do they reincarnate? Can I ever expect my beautiful soul pet to come back into my life again? The short answer is yes, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. So I'm going to explain my understanding and using all my little beautiful animal companions as examples. So I practice through meditation. I'm an animal Reiki master, and Reiki has taught me how to quiet my mind, open my heart, and accept all of our beautiful animals as perfect just the way they are. And that means even if they are in spirit, if it is their energy that still interacts with me, I love them just the way they are. And they have brought to me so many insights. Lucy in particular. Lucy, who's the black lab, she crossed in August. We're coming up on her 6-year sparkleversary is what my beautiful friend Jody calls it. But her beautiful transition date is going to be coming up in August. And when Lucy crossed, the way that she crossed was unexpected. Um, she was a senior dog, and we assisted her transition. And the day that she crossed, we were in a beautiful, it was 2020. So we all remember the COVID days, 2020, when most people were not allowed into the veterinary office, including whether or not it was to assist their transition. But since we had a beautiful outdoor space at my vet's office, we could do that. And we sat outside with her on a beautiful sunny day, letting her eat cheeseburgers. And she loved the burger, Jack loved the bun. We'll get to that. So letting her have her most beautiful chocolate and chocolate and cheeseburgers on her beautiful last day. And when she transitioned, and this is not meant to hurt anybody's heart because I promise you it filled mine. She transitioned in a way that was unexpected. So she's laying across our lap. There were several of us there with her, holding her. Her head was in my lap. And she took only one final breath. It was one big, beautiful breath. And when she exhaled that breath, I felt her pass into me, not through me, not up and away. I felt her pass into me. And instantly I knew it's going to make my voice crack a little bit. That's okay because these are beautiful. It's a beautiful, happy memory. I knew she became part of my heart. My heart didn't break. My heart didn't shatter. She like passed into me and became part of me. She became such an intense part of me from that moment on that I feel like that was her way of reincarnating, that she chose to share her energy and blend and merge her energy with mine. And that night, I had the most powerful dream. And she showed me in that dream that I was able to connect with animals on the other side. I kept that a big secret that I did not share that with anybody. Nobody knew that but me. But the dream was so intense that I had to have her tattooed on my arm because the way that she appeared to me was as a beautiful black wolf with blue eyes. And I knew instantly that that was her in her higher self and that she had chosen to share that with me. And I had to have it tattooed on my arm. Hang on a second. I got to stop this camera from moving. It's shaking all over the place. All right. Fingers crossed. One woman show here. Always technical issues. Stop. The camera still wants to move. Um, okay. So that's Lucy. That's the way that I felt her reincarnation occur. Jack, as I meditated after his crossing, I got a sense from Jack that he was a very old soul. And I'm going to show you his picture again because I just want you to look at him and see if you see what I see. I'm just going to hold a little bit closer. I see a very solid, grounded, strong, old soul. I instantly got the sense of him when I quieted my mind and I went into this quiet space just to make the connection with him. And I got the sense that he wished not to return, that he had been on many journeys through many lifetimes with my husband and that he was choosing not to reincarnate, that his soul was ready to stay on the other side. And I thought that was beautiful that he could send me that message, that he trusted me enough to know that it wouldn't break my heart to know that. And I honor all animals as sentient beings. What does that mean? It means that they have their own soul, their own journey, their own connection to source. And I honor their preferences. And if that was Jack's preference, then I thanked him for sharing that with me. And now I know why he chose not to reincarnate. Because, as most of you know, in November, my beautiful husband passed to the other side, and he and Jack are now together. And that's why Jack, I know it deep in my soul, it's why Jack chose not to reincarnate, because he was going to stay on the other side, to be there to greet my husband when he transitioned, and then for the two of them to be together. So that's part of their journey, and we're going to talk about past lives in just a minute. Then I want to tell you about Winston. So Winston was a rescue. He rescued me. You know the way that goes. Winston was a rescue, a senior dog. And so all the dogs were seniors. Jack and Lucy were both 13 when they transitioned. Winston was about the same. We're not sure because I didn't have any of his medical records. Winston found me at the top of the mountain where we do not know how he got there other than an angel dropped him off. And he was with me for 2 years before he transitioned. Um, and I'll tell his full story another time, but the veterinarian initially told me that he would probably only make it for a couple of weeks, maybe through the summer, and he ended up being with me for over 2 years. It was about 2.5 years that he was with me. So Winston transitioned just a week after Lucy, and that broke my heart. So while still makes my voice crack a little bit, that broke my heart. Lucy was expected. Jack was expected. They spent their whole lives with me. Since they were puppies, they lived with us and shared our life with us. Winston, after, it was just so wonderful to have him for those 2 years, but he transitioned only a week after Lucy. So I barely had enough time to integrate Lucy's transition before Winston left us. And that one broke my heart. Again, I'll share I have shared the story in the past and I can always share it again. But I do what I always do with them. I sat in meditation and I asked to connect. I asked to understand where he was and would he come back to me. Really, I still to this very day want Winston back. Lucy will always be a part of me. Jack is where he belongs. Winston, I really, I want, I want him back in this physical life with me. You have to know what that feels like, right? I'm guessing that you do. But when I meditated with Winston, what he showed me was a little girl. And I knew it like in a flash. In a flash, I had the whole story dropped into my mind. And the whole story was that the way that he reached me on the mountaintop was that his family had abandoned him. He did have many, many health issues, which I was happy to take on. That's why the veterinarian said if he may only have a couple of weeks, I was happy to take that responsibility. But I instantly knew everything. I knew all the details. The adult humans in his family, they couldn't deal with those medical things. And they were doing what they thought was best. They couldn't even financially afford, I just knew all this instantly. They couldn't even financially afford to assist his transition. And so they thought they were doing something humane and they dropped him into the woods. And he found his way to me. And I trust that angels, source, even Winston's higher self, that they orchestrate things behind the scenes. And he was finding his way to me because I was able to take care of those medical conditions for him. He needed to teach me some things. I needed to learn some things from him. And I needed to be part of his life for those last couple of years. So what I got all that information instantly. I knew immediately. I could even picture the kind of car. It was an older, tan little car, and in the back were two children, but the one that I see clearly is the girl. And the little girl was heartbroken that her adults had chosen to leave her dog in the woods. And she carried that burden with her. And so he went back to her. I also got that in a flash of understanding. He reincarnated back to her. She is the one who needed him. He knew that I would survive and he knew that I would understand. And so he chose to go back to help a little girl's heart heal. He still does makes me tear up. But that's the sense that I got from him. So how do I know all this? Can I prove that reincarnation is real? No, I can't. I cannot. Like, I haven't had one of those experiences. There's not like, I haven't like bumped into a little dog named Winston who's wearing a Winston name tag who I would know instantly. I don't have that, but I do have the understanding that they give to me. And I've come to trust all of the information that I receive. And most of it comes from all of you who have asked me to connect with your animal companions on the other side. They have all taught me something, but mostly what they've taught me is faith and trust that the information I'm receiving is real and accurate and true. And so that's what I do. So reincarnation, I believe can happen in any number of ways, as I've just tried to describe to you. I also believe that soul pets have the ability to reincarnate by co-creating their next existence with us. And that's what I'm going to share in just a little bit. But first, I really want to talk about past lives because past lives are fun. So across time and space, our souls exist across all time and all space. We only know what we are experiencing right now in our physical bodies. But have you ever felt like really, have you ever felt like you were someplace else before? Like you just know that you were something else, someone else in a, I'm going to say prior life, even though I'm going to explain it a little bit differently in just a minute, but have you ever felt that things are just, um, sorry guys, someone started knocking at my door. Okay, so we're back. We were talking about past lives. Have you ever felt that you've experienced something before, that you have been through this more than once? And like I feel it. I feel that I have done many times. I don't think it's just once. I think there have been many times that I felt a past life. And our soul pets, now I'm gonna have a frog in my throat. Our soul pets experience that with us. They are part of our lives across these different lifetimes. And that means in the future and in the past. So even if reincarnation doesn't happen for you to experience in the way we think it is here, that there's still future opportunities for you to be together with your soul pet. But I get it. Like, I want my soul pet here right now. Like, if Winston tried it through the door right now, I'd be ecstatic. So I understand what you're asking me when you want to know if they reincarnate. So we are taught in our little beautiful life on Earth that things are linear. So I don't know if that's going to appear like backwards for you guys, but we think that things go in a line from point A to point B. It's 9 o'clock in the morning and it becomes 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 2025 and it moves to 2026. We think things that go in a straight line, just like on this paper, the straight line. But the way that I understand it is that it's more like this. It's more like a folded piece of paper, and that our multiple lifetimes are on individual layers on this fan of paper, and that they can overlap like this, which is why sometimes we feel that we've experienced something before because we may be here, but we're feeling something. It's so close to us that we could almost, if we thought hard enough about it, understand where we were. And I know that there are people who have had things like past life regression because they really want to know what their past life was. We sometimes bring forward with us any traumas or good things, some beautiful things too. We often talk about healing trauma from a past life, but we bring with us both the things, we bring all the things, all the experiences that we've had, not just the traumatic ones. We also bring the beautiful ones, which is why I believe that this time around I'm so clear at communicating with animals, especially on the other side. But it's more than that, because as I understand it, it's time works so much differently that it could be a loop. Okay, so this is wrinkling. It's everything. It's more than we can possibly imagine. It's more than we can wrap our little brains around as we try to understand this. So, yes, we have had past lives together. If you've felt it, you understand it. Maybe you're a brand new soul here this time around. It's very possible that this is the first time for you and you haven't ever felt that. That's all good. There are no rules. That more than anything, I want to be able to make this very clear. Our incarnations, we're taught all these rules. I mean, God, human beings love rules. We just love to put rules on everything. And this is the way it has to be. And this is what you're supposed to do. And this is, yeah, no, I fly free, my friend. There are no rules. I would be, more than anything, I suggest you be open to infinite possibilities, that anything and everything is possible. And we are not tied to what we think we're tied to. I'm going to suggest the concept of karma. This goes back to reincarnation. The concept of karma, as I was taught it, is that we come back time and again in order to become better, to allow our souls to become better. So we do things wrong in one life, we have to come back and be better in the next, and better in the next, and better in the next. And we keep healing our layers of karma until we achieve this state of pure grace where we are ascending. Our soul is the best it can possibly be, and we don't ever have to come back to earth again. What I now understand is that we have healed that type of karma. And there may still be some people who are on that little karmic loop that keep repeating some things that have to come back, and until they figure it out. I'm not going to say until they get it right, because I think everybody's existence is their own. And but that's between you and your version of God, source, the divine. But that some people still are on that karmic loop. I believe that our animal companions have actually helped us heal that karma because when we bring an animal companion into our life, it makes us a better person, even if we make mistakes. So when I go back to my early childhood, my beautiful Peanuts and a dog named Dudley that I had when I was right out of college, and the dogs who for me, there's been a couple cats, mostly dogs. The animals who have shared my life, each and every one has helped me become a better companion. So now I have Gypsy in my life. Gypsy will not ever experience the things that Jack and Lucy did. Jack and Lucy didn't ever have to go through the things that Dudley went through. Um, or that Peanuts went through. I laugh that Peanuts, my poor little Peanuts, she was a little Chihuahua, and she had a little half a can of Alpo. If anybody remembers Alpo, that was her food every day. Half a can from a can of Alpo food, and I thought, oh my gosh, we did so wrong by her. So I made sure that Jack and Lucy had really good dog food, but it was still dog food. This is just an example. Gypsy now gets whole food. I make Gypsy's food from scratch because I don't ever want to have her stuck eating kibble again. And I'm in that place where I can do that. They have each helped me grow in more ways than I can possibly describe to become a better person, not just a better animal, not just a better companion to my animals, but a better companion to all animals, a better companion to all people, a better caretaker of the earth and my environment. That's me. That's my journey. You are possibly, probably on a whole different journey. But I believe that every animal companion that has come into our life, and if you have ever felt the soul pet connection, that connection where your souls are connected, literally, you are bound together, even when they transition into their energetic form, you are forever tethered. There's no cutting that tether. It can't be done. You're forever tied together. And think about this for past lives or future lives that maybe you'll switch someday and you'll be the cat and your kitty cat will be the person. Who knows? Because we want to have fun with it. Think about this about when it comes to reincarnation. If you were given the chance to reincarnate, I've asked this question many times. If you were given the chance to reincarnate, would you? So many people go, oh, hell no. I'm not coming back to this show. I was going to say that SHI. I'm not coming back here again, ever. What are you, nuts? And then other people might say, I do want to come back, but I want to come back and experience it in a whole new way. I want to know what it's like to be a pirate, or I want to know what it's like to fly a jet. Then in those cases, yeah, then come back and reincarnate, and your animal companion will come with you. But I want you to think about this from your animal companion's perspective. Number one, would they say, "Oh, heck no, I'm not going back. You humans, until you figure it out, I'm not coming back." I don't think they'll ever actually say that because I think that Source has sent them here to help us through that. Anyway, so an animal may want the same thing. They may want to re-experience life in a different form. And so that's where I'm going to have us do this little exercise about co-creating their reincarnation. And now after all that little tear shedding, I don't have any tissues here. I still feel a little teary. Okay. All right. So let me think about this. Okay. I made myself a few notes just to make sure I'm staying on track. They may return as different. I want to talk about shared bodies. So the shared bodies, that experience is where it's a form of reincarnation, is what I call it, but it's all about energy. So all of us are energetic. We are spirits living in a physical body. We are souls in a body, and we are all made of energy. And their soul and their spirit, when it leaves their physical body, re-enters the energetic space. So that's where they reside. Their energy is still with you. Their soul, their spirit, it exists right next to you. They don't fly off to some faraway cloud. They don't, they aren't like, it's a beautiful thought to think of them at the Rainbow Bridge waiting for us, but the Rainbow Bridge is right here, and their energy stays by our side. So if we have another animal companion like Gypsy, who is now part of my life, they often share their physical body so that the energetic presence of our other animal companions can come through and have a little experience. I have seen Gypsy do things that only Jack did. Last night, we were having a little snack of apples and peanut butter. That was Lucy's favorite thing. And Winston, oh, he must be thinking about me. Gypsy came and sat at my feet and looked exactly like Lucy. Had her ears in the same position, had the drool coming out the side of her mouth in the same position. So she was allowing Lucy to experience apples and peanut butter. I have seen Gypsy behave like each of my animal companions, and I just take that as an understanding that they've popped in, a little pop-in visit, popped in for a little brief moment of reincarnation to experience what it's like again on the physical. Again, saying that there are no rules. There are no rules. So I think that there are actually options that we don't even understand yet, that we can't wrap human brains around. What do I mean? What if they can travel to a distant planet? What if they can travel to a different dimension? What if they can come back as an eagle and soar down one day and fly past your window just to let you know that they're out exploring, having a good old time? I think there's so much more to their transition than we understand. So just allow your mind to be open to the possibilities. And hopefully some of this resonates with you. Hopefully this makes some sense to you. All right, so no rules. Allow for the possibilities. Would you come back? No. I can't read my handwriting here. Uh, oh, don't pigeonhole them. Allow them to express their preference. And that's what this next exercise is going to be about. So if you're with me now, we're going to do something called co-creating. If you are interested, now, of course, if you are driving or operating heavy machinery or doing something where you can't sit down and focus on this, come back to it. But this activity is going to be one where we are going to focus solely on our animal companion. We're going to spend the next couple of minutes focused on them in a way that allows them, gives them full permission to do whatever it is that they would like to do. Now, you can do this exercise. We're going to do it for a reincarnation, but you can do it for signs. You can do it for messages. You can do it just to connect with them. But we're going to use our imagination now. Imagination is an incredibly powerful tool. When we were small children, we could imagine anything. Anything was possible. From unicorns to dragons to you name it, we could be having tea with Prince Charming. Anything was possible in our imagination, and we were literally trained out of that. We were taught out of it by the time we get to school. I want to train us back into it because your imagination is real. Your imagination is so true. Somebody asked me, I think it was on the live stream on Monday, somebody said, you mean if I believe in unicorns, that unicorns are real? Well, the answer to that is yes. If you believe in something, it is real. How real was Santa to you? How real was any fictional character that seemed so real? It's because you gave them life. But we're gonna take it one step further with our imagination. Imagination is what we are going to use, and we are going to allow our animal companion to use their imagination. Imagination exists here in the physical. Imagination exists on the other side in the non-physical. So they have imaginations just like us. Theirs is more powerful. So we're going to let them take the lead when it comes to imagination. We are going to talk about first, heart, brain, gut coherence. What that means is getting yourself back into balance. We allow so many stressors in our life that we are frequently, if not most of the time, out of balance. Our brain is off racing 100 miles a minute, trying to we're mentally doom scrolling all the time about everything that could go wrong. And then that makes our heart out of coherence. Then we have tummy issues. We're going to get that back into balance, even if it's just for 5 minutes. We're going to get that back into balance. The secret with our animal companions is that in their energetic spiritual state, they're instantly in balance. They're not ever out of harmony. So they're one step ahead of us when it comes to that. And then we are going to infuse our imagination with love. I'm telling you this ahead of time because I want you to prepare. We are going to infuse our imagination with so much love. If you've heard the expression, turn on your heart light, we are going to turn on our heart light so strong that we are just beaming, like love is flowing out of every cell of our body. Imagine your whole body just glowing with love. And that will help us be able to help them uh, co-create this. But that's the other thing that they've got, that they're ahead of us, ahead of the curve on. They're always in a state of pure positive love. They don't have to turn on their heart light. It's on. That's how they get through to us. That's how they can show us signs, because their spiritual essence glows so bright with energetic love that it breaks through the boundaries that we think we have here. It pushes through the veil. That's how they get us signs and messages. So they have a little bit of a head start on us, but we're going to do that. So if you're ready to join me, I want you to find a place where you can be comfortable. I'm not going to call this a meditation. Meditation, sometimes people think of, I got to be a guru sitting on a pillow chanting Om. That's one way to do it. I'm just going to lead you on a little guided journey to help you stay focused and in coherence and aligned with love. And that's going to align you with your animal companion. And you are both going to be able to imagine the possibilities. And I'm going to want you to give your animal companion permission to be themselves, to do what it is they want to do next, to set aside our selfish desire of seeing our little doggy trot through the door and let them choose. But here's how we do it. So if you're with me, we're going to start with what I call the 3 H's. It's coherence. Coherence of head, coherence of heart, and coherence of hara, H-A-R-A. That's the Japanese Reiki term for the core. So we are going to get our body back into balance with our breath. So sit down, allow your chair to hold you up. Doesn't matter, you don't have to sit up straight if you don't want to. You can slouch, you can be comfy, you can lie down if you choose to do that. But we are going to take 3 deep breaths. You're going to take a deep breath in, hold it for just a moment, and slowly let it release. And it may take you 2 or 3 times to get into a rhythmic pattern of breathing. That's okay. However long it takes you is fine. Breathe in again. Allow your lungs to be completely filled. Allow your body to feel the happiness of the beautiful air and energy that you're breathing in. And slowly release it. And with your next breath, I want you to breathe in, and on the exhale, consciously exhale longer. Let your exhale be really twice as long as your inhale. And do that with me once more. Breathe in and breathe out. And in this space, as you continue gently breathing at your own pace, I want you to set the intention that nothing is more important at this moment in time than your connection with your soul pet. Nothing is more important at this moment in time. There is not a care in the world that is more important to you than sharing this time and space with your beautiful animal companion. Continue breathing. And now I want you to evoke. I want you to imagine. I want you to hold an image or an idea in your mind. This is using your imagination. You can visualize them. You can visualize a happy space. I want you to keep it simple and open. Allow something just to pop into your mind. But this is where you would imagine what it's like to be with them again, what it's like to hold them again, and let them place into your mind what that may look like. And even if a visual image does not come into your mind, just know that they are sharing this space with you. You are evoking the feeling. You're evoking the feeling what it's like to have them in your life. And this is where we turn on our heart light. Feel it. Just love them exactly as they are right now, in their non-physical, beautiful, energetic, loving way, their beautiful way that they have full imagination, they're fully aligned with you always. And they've turned on their heart light and you can feel it. Breathe in their beautiful love. Feel it warm you, feel it fill your heart, and let your heart expand. Right now, with every inhale and every exhale, let your heart grow and grow and grow. And it doesn't matter if it makes you cry, and it doesn't matter if it makes you miss them. What you are feeling is them. Feel it with every cell, every atom, every part of your being. Bring them into your existence in this little space. Hold them, love them, let them fill you, and you fill them. Imagine wrapping your arms around them. Imagine them just filling your heart with love, and be in this space. And in this space, we are aligned. We are more than aligned. We are more than connected. We are more than coherent. We are one. We are one soul. They are us. We are them. And now give them permission. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that you honor them. Tell them that you respect who they are, their choices, that all is well. And however they choose to come back to you, you are open to receive. Nice deep breath. You're going to begin to bring your focus back to your body. Gently, gently allow yourself to become aware again. Roll your shoulders. Stretch. Yawn if you have to. Wipe the tears if you have to. When you're ready, come back to the physical by opening your eyes. You have just spent this time in their energetic space. So allow yourself to gently come back to your own body. Open your eyes. It sometimes helps to look at something in the room. Look at something concrete that has a little bit different color. Look at something that has some structure to it. If you want to, take a drink of water. And you're going to allow yourself to come back gently to your physical body. What you have just done is allowed them to reconnect with you, and you have reconnected with them. And now we let it go. We just let it go. Let them, they're behind the scenes doing all the work. For them, they're the ones having all the fun right now, figuring out what the next step is. You just relax, be calm, be open to the possibility, and know that they're going to let you know you're not going to miss it. If they're coming back to you in a physical way, you're not going to miss it. They're either going to be able to give you a look in their eyes, they're going to bring a song, they are going to give you a concrete sign that they're coming back into your life. If you got the feeling, like I did with Jack, that they choose to stay in the non-physical, or if you get the feeling like I did with Winston, that he chose to return to someone else, trust them. Trust them, honor them, trust that they're on their own journey, just as we are, and that they will not ever lose connection with you. So Winston, even though I get the sense that he is reincarnated for the healing of his little girl, I can call him up anytime I choose to. That's the last rule for which there are no rules. They can do anything they choose. They can multiply. They can appear for you at the same time that they appear for someone else. They can be in the non-physical and in the physical at the same time, as can we, by the way. That power is ours on the other side also. But that's a story for a whole different day. Okay, my friends, if you've got any questions, if you want to explore this further, I want you to put something in the comment. You can even just share your beautiful animal companion's name if you choose to in the comments. You can share anything you want. Share if you had some remarkable insight that came through to you during that little session. And then the last thing I want to share is that I have just been inspired very recently to host a little spiritual retreat. I went to Teotihuacan. This is a whole different video. I went to Teotihuacan back in March of this year and had the most profound healing experience of my entire life. And it instantly I knew, and of course everything lined up. I met all the right people. instantly I knew that I had to help others experience that. So if you want to join me in Teotihuacan, October of this year, 2026, we'll be going from the 4th to the 9th. I'm doing a Zoom on Saturday. The link is in my commute. So if you see the little tab that says posts, the Zoom link is there. Join us on Saturday morning. And even if you just want to say hi, like to have me see your smiling face and hear your voice, come and join us on that Zoom. It's totally free. There's no strings attached to it. Just come and say hi and join our community, which is a community of beautiful souls that virtually and hopefully in person supports each other wherever we happen to be on our journey through pet loss. My friends, I love you so much. Thank you for joining me. Until the next time, may animals light your way.